I also want to talk a little bit from a corporate branding perspective on how detached the leadership can be, when everything is going through chief marketing officer, not enough feedback from the people on the ground. Because I think corporations are missing the boat because they are misguided into thinking that corporate correctness or corporate political correctness is a brand, right? So our corporate, we've had clients that have freaked out because we missed noting a special holiday on a social media thing. Like they think their job to make a brand is to recognize every political correct movement in the world. And what they don't understand is every corporation is doing that. How does that differentiate you from anywhere else? It doesn't. We had spoken about before about one of the major banks in North America where I went into one of their top offices and they had rainbows everywhere. I asked them, what are these rainbows for? I knew what it symbolized. And the general manager said, to show how much we support this community. And I said, well, you have a head office, you have a major office in the Middle East, which I've been to, and there's no rainbows there. I said, if you really cared about this movement, why is it there?
where it's like death punishment or capital punishment.
It's where that community really needs support.
Yeah.
So if you had corporate courage, you would put it up in that country. But instead you're putting it up in a country where everybody's putting it up and you think it differentiates yourself. You have a whole marketing organization telling you you have to do it and it doesn't do anything. And they're misconstruing waving a flag with building a brand. Loyalty comes from treating customers like the precious commodities they are, not spending all your money on false virtue signaling.
One thing that really grinds my gears with brands is that they want to stand for everything, but in reality, they're standing for nothing. By focusing on political correct movements, the most important thing, which is your customer experience. And if you truly are passionate about political correctness, like a perfect brand is Craig's Cookies in Toronto. It is started by a queer individual, and his brand practices what it preaches. Right? The staff are very well trained, like the experience is fundamentally great, and it stands for a great cause. Mm. And what a lot of big companies are doing is that they're focusing on something that from an algorithm it shows that people care about, but they're not actually caring about their people.
Mm. What people forget in the corporate world is the data or the algorithm that say, hey, 85% of people care about this. They're just answering a phone call or an online survey.
Yes.
It's not going to affect their behavior in terms of buying a worse cookie over a better cookie, right? But they're going to say they care about it, and then a whole army.
Craig's is different.
Craig's is good.
Craig's is different. Yeah, like they're small batch. They're like handmade. Like
I got it. Yeah. The marketing people who aren't thinking are feeding up the chain, saying, "Hey, 80% of people think this is important, so we have to invest on making it look like we care about this."
Yes.
Right? But really it doesn't change any behavior.
Well, I have a client that every year says to us, hey, can you update our logo in rainbow colors? But doesn't do anything for the rest of the year. As far as his brand is concerned, it's not impactful. So when I go back to like the Craig Cookies, his first store was at Church in Jarvis, which is like the main Pride community. He's a very proud queer individual. The majority of his staff also are a part of the queer community, and his product is really great. Like they're handmade cookies with his own secret recipe, and like the brand, it makes sense. People whose values align with that, or if they don't, it's still a great product. It makes sense. He's true to his own unique brand.
People in Toronto love that cookie regardless of where they are.
Because it's a great cookie. Yeah. But the brand is well executed through and through. The same with like a Four Ocean, right? Mm-hmm. Like they signal something that matters to them, and they do it exceptionally well, and the product doesn't suffer, the customer experience doesn't suffer, and it's an overall good brand. People want to buy brands that align with their values. But if you're pride washing or using political correct themes to sell, the consumer that's truly passionate about it is going to see through it and actually pisses them off more.